Arun has asked many questions from Kuwait. Arun, how do you remember so many questions? Every time since the last month or two, I sit down to reply. I get your questions in abundance. How do you remember so many of them? Do you know what is the process of remembering? Do you know what is it that remains registered and uppermost in the consciousness? That which you label as important. So many things happen to you. Do you remember all of them? This day itself, you would have had so many experiences. How many of them can you recall? What do you remember? You remember only that which you feel has a bearing upon you, which you feel would give you something or has the potential to take something away from you. In other words, the little and terrified self decides what you remember. It is little, so it remembers that which promises to make it a little bigger. It is terrified, so it remembers that which can snatch something away from it. These questions that you entrust with bringing you peace are not really going to prove the medium that can bring any kind of real comfort to you. My answers will not help you because none of your questions are new. I've already answered them many a times. You like being in the state of the questioner. You like remembering all that which troubles you. The state of relaxation is unknown to you, and that is why you have become suspicious of it and resistant towards it. In fact, your very first question today corroborates what I just said. What is the first question? Let me read it verbatim. Whenever someone tries to come close to me, I feel strange and try to avoid that person. It is not only persons, new persons that you are trying to avoid. The most new would always be the most unknown. And the most of a stranger. Who is that? That is called the beyond, that is called the unknowable, that is called truth, that is called peace, silence, and God. You'll avoid that. Because if that comes to you, how will you shower 5 or 7 questions next time? If peace comes to you, then the pleasure of remaining a questioner is taken away. So you will avoid it. You are deliberately deciding to remain a questioner. You are deliberately deciding to remain unsettled. And that is why I began my response by asking you, how do you manage to remember so many questions? One forgets. Whatsoever is unimportant is forgotten, is it not? And if you are remembering them, who is according importance to these questions? You. There are 2 points from which one asks. Sometimes one asks so that the asking may cease. And sometimes one asks because one is the asker. I am the questioner, so it is my right, my duty, my function to keep questioning. I'm not questioning so that I may end. I'm questioning because I am discharging my designated function. This is what I intend to continue as. I'm just playing my role, and my role is to question. So I'm just playing my role. I like my role. I like my role. So come next Wednesday, I'll again be playing the same role. I'll again be firing a volley of questions. I'll not even care to see that my questions are all repeats. The answers have Don't be addicted to questions and to your role of a questioner. Don't be afraid. Welcome to the state of no questions. It's a beautiful state to be in. It's a beautiful state. You see, it's like this. A fellow may have the worst of bodies. And the ugliest of faces. But still, doesn't he want to protect his body? Tell me, have you ever seen anyone who does not want to protect his body because the body is bad, disfigured, distorted, too large, simply ugly? The self has a tendency to preserve whatever it has. I repeat, the self has a tendency to preserve whatever it has. It doesn't matter that what it has is useless, worthless, in fact harmful. Doesn't matter. I'll protect what I have, for that is all that I have. What else am I going to protect? It is possible that a king might be possessive about his palace. And it is possible that a pauper might be even more possessive about his hut in shambles. You will say the possessiveness of the king is understandable, rather agreeable. But what do you have to say about the possessiveness of the beggar? The beggar might be extremely attached to his begging bowl, for that is all that he has. That's the thing with the self. You may have only your diseases. You may have only your restlessness and discomforts. But if you feel that that is all that you have, you will begin to nourish them, protect them. You will say, well, this is my empire, this is my household, this is my life. This might be a paralyzed hand, this might just be a burden, but do I have an option? This is all that I have. Do I have an option to change my hand? This hand might always just be hanging limply, a flaccid organ of no use. But if I get a feeling that this is all that I have, then I'll never let go of it. Never. And you have we commiserate with you, no reason to believe that you have anything beyond this. Whenever you would look using your senses, whenever you would look superficially, you would only see that which is perceivable to the senses. And what is it that is perceivable to the senses? Only your material belongings, your thoughts, your ideologies, and your feelings. That's all that you can sense about you. So you don't want to let them go. You say, well, that is all that I have. Let me now ask you a few questions. If questions are all you have, then you have all you have. If questions are all that you have, then you already have all that you have. So you must be satisfied. Stay with me. You say that my questions, my restlessness, my wandering, my anxiety, this is all that I have. So how can I let go of these things? Because they are all that I have. They are all my property. They are what defines me. So how do I let go of them? That is your assertion, right? I want to go into that assertion. If that is all that you have, then you already have all that you can have. You must be satisfied. Are your questions being stolen away? Your questions are with you. So you have what you have. Is somebody taking away your tensions? No, your tension is secure with you. In fact, it is growing at the rate of 20% per year. So you must be comfortable. Is somebody taking away your diseases? No, nobody is taking away your diseases. They are in fact multiplying. So you must feel good and happy. If you have all these, and these are all that you have, then why are you so restless, my friend? You must sit contented. Your very restlessness proves that your assumption, your concept is wrong, misplaced. You are not what you think you are. But it's just that the other that you have will not be visible to the you who is so attached to questions, to anxiety, to the superficial. You'll have to take a leap of faith. You'll have to gather some courage. You'll at least have to try. You'll have to see whether there is life beyond suspicion. If you're so suspicious, why don't you suspect suspicion itself? About that you are so certain. Are you not? Next time these questions raise their head, ask them, are you coming to go? Are you coming to remain? If they are coming to go, welcome them in. And if they are coming to remain, tell them you already have enough of their brethren. No vacancy.